And now, another episode of the Game Changers podcast with Sydney and Luke Hurst.
What is up, guys? And welcome back to the Game Changers podcast. As always, it's Luke and Sydney here, and we've got quite a bit of sports news to start off with. So that is where we're going to start off. Apologies for kind of being inactive on this podcast. We have had a lot going on between work and school and friends and family coming to visit. Appreciate the patience, but this episode will be worth it. We have a very special guest joining us a little bit later. So I will start off. A little while ago, the gymnastics Olympic trials commenced, and the amount of gymnasts, male and female, that got injured between, I guess there were a few that ruptured their Achilles. I think there was a knee injury, like career halting Olympics not in the question for these gymnasts. And they all happened at the Olympic trials. And I think it's very interesting. It's something I wanted to touch on. I guess like the reasoning behind it. Now, I feel like there's a lot of controversies and speculations. The equipment could definitely be one of them. Obviously overuse. If anyone knows gymnasts, that you know that they work crazy hard, long hours. So I think it's really interesting though, but unfortunately one of my really close friends who was trying for the Olympics again, she ruptured her Achilles, which it was crazy. She did a vault, she stuck it right beforehand and then competed her vault and was not looking so good. So that was very interesting. It's been on my mind since then. Just very interesting. I think it's crazy. And it's male and female, which is wild. Also, you don't usually see that many injuries in one meet. So the vibe was definitely off. And it's definitely really interesting.
Like even at Nationals this year and in the past and at Pan Am, there weren't that many injuries. Same amount of days of competition, same amount of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And there were just too many injuries of girls and guys that were really good and contending to be on the team, and they get injured. It sucks, and it's hard to watch as a fan of the sport, watching these people who have tried and put everything into their lives for the last 4 years to get there, and then the one time they're trying to make the team that it actually counts, they hurt themselves. So
Yeah.
it's just tough to watch, because especially since we have a friend that was one of them. But
well, and they're seasoned athletes. Like they know how to take care of their bodies. They know the type of training and everything that they need to do. I just thought it was a little bit freaky how many people got injured. But on a happier note, yesterday was the MLB draft, and that was really fun to watch. We were both working, and so we couldn't watch it completely.
But I do have a couple things to note.
Go for it.
The draft I thought went well. There were a couple surprising picks in my opinion. I did not expect Caglione to drop all the way to 6. I also did not expect Charlie Condon to drop to 3. I thought he was going to go 1-1, but he dropped to 3. And I was expecting him to go 1 or 2, but the guy who did go number 1, Travis Bazana, I did expect him to go number 1 or 2. So I'm not surprised about that. But I'm surprised Chase Burns went as high as he did. But yeah, Caglione going 6, surprised, but I thought he was going to be a little higher than that. They drafted him as a first baseman, so I'm curious to see if in the near future what they decide to do with him. If they're going to let him pitch and hit, or if they're only going to let him pitch, or if they're only going to let him hit. I'm curious to see what the Royals do with that, because he is the next so-called Ohtani, I guess you could say. But
Bigger.
I just don't know what they're going to do with that, because those are once in a generational type talent. And do you want to try and let him do both, or do you want to just see if he wants to do? I know he wants to do both, but it's up to the organization, to be honest with you, because they're paying him the money.
That's true. And honestly, I think he's fantastic in both, but he's such a big dude I feel like he can develop more as a hitter,
Mm-hmm.
but it would be cool to see how he does as a pitcher
Yeah, I
in the
agree.
majors.
Couple other picks that I thought were cool. The Mariners drafted a switch pitcher,
Mm-hmm.
um, Durangelo. He is a. I've never seen someone be able to throw with both hands as hard and as good as he does. He tops out at like 95 on both sides, so that's cool. I could see him going out of the bullpen. I don't see him starting in the majors because bullpen arms is where I could see switch pitching coming into effect better. Um, and then the Orioles, since I'm an Oriole fan, they drafted Vance Honeycutt. I am surprised they drafted him. He was projected 26. I'm surprised they went up and got him at 22. Good pick. But I do see them using him as a trade piece. I don't know or foresee him. I mean, they could if they are very high on him. Um, but I could see them using him as a trade piece right now, this early, because they need a pitcher, and he's a very good player. So I could see
Mm-hmm.
them using him instead of one of the guys that is already in the system that they're more high on, that they've seen. Um, but that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but
Yeah,
um,
100%. I'm surprised with with Tennessee being as good as they were this year. I was surprised that Billy Amick didn't go in the first round.
I have to agree. I agree. They did have
He
Christian
was
Moore.
in the second round. That's
Yeah,
true.
they did have
That's true.
Christian Moore go at eighth to the Angels, but
Which makes sense.
um, I am surprised that they didn't have any more guys go in the first round. But
Hmm.
Wake Forest had four guys go in the first round. So
Yeah. I did notice that there were less high schoolers, at least from what I can remember, this first round than last year's first round. I remember watching last year and it was just high schooler after high schooler. So,
yeah, the first high school
um,
guy didn't go till 9 or something like
yeah,
that.
which I think last year was a little bit different. I
I
think
feel
there was
like
a
it's
high schooler that
gotten
went like top five.
more college as time has progressed. Like
Yeah.
when I was like in middle school or early high school, it was high school guys for like the first 10 picks, and then a
Hmm.
college guy would go. And then since Adley Rutschman went 1-1, in my opinion, it's been college guys more dominant in the first round than high
Yeah.
school. Um,
Well, PJ
don't know
Morlando,
why, but
who was a high schooler, he went first round, I believe. Um,
who?
he his name is PJ Morlando. He's a high schooler out of Somerville, South Carolina. He was like he watching him. I've watched him play at some games, and him when he hits that ball, it goes. I mean, 400 feet. So huge hitter. Wasn't surprised.
Mhm.
He's the best ball player in South Carolina. So and honestly, probably the South at the moment. But that was really cool to see. I'm trying to think. There was somebody else. Um, there was one guy that was committed to LSU, and he got drafted by the Braves. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
Cam Kennedy or something. Kenneth something.
hold on, I'll look it up real quick.
Whatever his name was. He's a
Um,
fantastic. He also came from high school. But I do agree. I think that they are staying straying away from high schoolers, which I think is really interesting. I think also seeing like a guy like Dylan Cruz who was a top pick out of high school and then went to college, was very, very successful at LSU, and then was still a number one draft pick. I think
mhm.
seeing that and seeing that if they can really develop in college, then they're definitely going to be successful in the pros. I think that that is kind of lessening the high school picks that they choose
Yeah,
to
I
draft.
agree.
Yeah, but that was really fun to watch. I'm excited to keep watching it. See if there's any South Carolina Gamecocks that go. Would be pretty cool.
Yeah, they none of them went in the first round.
Nope.
Um, I haven't looked at the second or third round fully yet.
Hmm.
Because that's like 75 picks into No, but
Yeah, it's a lot.
I just looked at the first round. Um, so yeah, I think that it's going well. I'm surprised there's less. There's only like 3 or 4 high school guys that went in the first round, which is
Hmm.
crazy to me. Um,
It is crazy, but refreshing.
yeah, yeah. I think that time is like that where it's like the same thing with guys hitting, like baseball wants guys hitting for average, and then they want guys hitting for power, and they don't care about strikeouts. Well, now it's reversing
Right.
back to guys hitting for average and not striking out as much. Um,
Hmm.
so I think it'll be the same thing with like drafts. Well, like there'll be 4 or 5 years. Well, they went with high school guys predominantly in the first round, and now they're going with college guys for a couple years, and then I think it'll reverse
Oh,
back
yeah.
eventually.
Hmm.
But for right now, college is the dominant thing
Yeah.
because you're not seeing kids in
Well,
high
I
school
think,
throwing 104 or 95 on a
right.
daily, where kids in college
Right.
are. And the pros, you're seeing guys throw like 95 every day.
Well,
So,
right. And maybe this is a hot take, but I think someone like Jackson Holiday, who was projected to be incredible, and I'm not saying that he's not, but when he gets to the pros and doesn't do as well as everyone thought, I think I think you'd rather draft somebody who is at a Power Five school who you know can handle pressure and can handle other draft guys,
mhm,
rather than drafting a high schooler who is a bigger question mark.
I agree. I think that they want to draft guys who have seen the pitching at a high level
Hmm.
and have had success against it because it's more easy to project how they're going to be against that velocity. But as a high school kid, you see that once or twice unless you're playing in a really good high school, really, really good high school team. You're not seeing that every day. So
Agreed.
I think that's part of it. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's just me.
pretty cool.
My last thing, the Open Championship is this week. Starts on Thursday. Last major of the year. Um, Tune in. It'll be a good one. It's in Scotland. It is at Royal Troon Links Golf Course. So it's way different than what golf courses are like here. But tune into that. That'll be good. So yeah, that's my last part.
I'm excited. Last major of the year. So sad. That's okay.
Yep.
It'll be good. Anyway, we're going to get right into our guest because Luke and I have yapped long enough, and I'm ready for some football news. It's been too long. Football season's coming up in the next couple months. Wasn't that a lovely treat? I loved seeing him, and he seems like he's going to be so successful,
Yeah.
and I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's
It's
been
been
a
a while
while
since
since we've seen him.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen him and watched him daily, so that was really cool.
Yep.
Coolness. Anything else before we log
No,
off,
just
Luke?
tune in. Hopefully, I think the Olympic trials are fully done now, so that's coming
Yep.
up soon.
Yep, the Olympics
And
are coming up
then
soon.
you've got I mean, the Copa America just finished with the craziness of the fans breaching the gates last night. But
Mm-hmm. Yep.
um, yeah,
I
Olympics is
love
coming.
that.
I can't wait. That'll be a good week, 2 weeks of sports. So yeah,
Lit. All right, well, my fun fact of the day. The 1900 Summer Olympic Games in Paris included an event called live pigeon shooting, where hundreds of pigeons were released in front of competitors who then shot them. So, guys, yes, very interesting. That is my fun fact of the day as the Olympics inch closer and closer. Just remember that they used to shoot pigeons.
two pigeons. Yeah, that's
Shoot pigeons. Yeah.
I don't know how to
Now
feel
we're all
about that.
boring, Now it's just, gymnastics and cool flips and diving and, all that fun stuff,
Do
which
not
I
know
think
how
is
I
more
feel about
interesting.
that one, but
Listen, nobody died, no animals are killed now at the Olympics. So we've really progressed.
hmm
Yeah. But anyway, tune into all of the baseball games, the draft, the Open this weekend, and the Olympics coming up soon. So thank you all for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And we will see you next time when the Game Changers podcast returns.
see ya.
All right, y'all. So for today, we have a very special guest joining us from the University of Florida. We have Trey Smack. Trey, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm great. How are you guys?
Great.
Good.
It's good to see you
Good.
again. So, for those of you that don't know, Luke and I are in the same grade as Trey, and Trey went to our high school. So we know him pretty well, but honestly, haven't really seen him in a few years. So tell us, where are we finding you right now? Are you in Maryland or Florida?
I'm in Maryland. Surprisingly, I'm not in Gainesville right now. I will be in Gainesville for the rest of the summer next week, and we'll be getting back to work.
Nice.
Yikes!
Okay, so
That is a long summer.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it's like a full-time job, and like you basically get like 1 month kind of out of the whole entire year to get off.
yeah, and training doesn't stop.
No,
No,
nope,
never.
like to keep us there.
So why Florida? Tell us a little bit about your experience at Florida and what it's like to be on the football team there.
Yeah. So originally, like my position as a kicker, it is hard to gain a full scholarship coming out of recruitment because you have to go to camps and try out. And so I went to my junior year of high school. I went to like I think six colleges in 12 days because there was a little time period of where I could go and try out, and they would give me like an opportunity to like try out in front of the team. They would show me around kind of deal, and then they would do
Nice.
their scholarships based off that. And
Okay.
uh, yeah, I think like 5 guys out of the whole nation get scholarships every year.
Damn, that's impressive. So I remember you were going to some Coles camps in your junior and senior year. Were those the camps that got you the viewing that you needed to get?
Yeah, those are exactly where the camps. Like,
Okay.
me going to those camps got me ranked really high, and then the whole recruiting process got me to where I am right now. So those Coles camps really helped me out. So that was like a big factor of where I was
Really
going to get
dry.
recruited to.
Tell our listeners a little bit about how you got into football, because you, if I'm not mistaken, you did play lacrosse in, right? Was it lacrosse or soccer in
No,
high
it was
school?
soccer. He played
I
Soccer.
played,
soccer his freshman year.
yeah, I played both.
Okay.
So,
So yeah.
yeah, um, I got into football kind of. I was playing soccer for 13 years, and then I got into my freshman year of high school. And I was like, this is really isn't kind of for me. Didn't really like soccer anymore. I kind of wanted to go to college for lacrosse, and I was like, well, all right, here we go. I'll go to college for lacrosse, and then COVID hits, and I was just trying to find something to do, kind of ideally like keep my mind sane. The lacrosse goals were locked up, so I couldn't work out and do anything with lacrosse goals. And I was like, let's just kick some field goals for a bit. And so from there, I was like just kicking field goals. And I got hooked up with a coach, this old NFL kicker, Matt Stover. He kicked at the Ravens. He was
Hmm.
like the kicker for Justin Tucker. And then there was like a brief year that Shane Graham was the kicker there. And so I coached with him virtually for like 9 months. I go to my first camp. I get ranked 13th for kicking and 15th for punting. And this was like 11 months into me, like fully just kicking. I didn't realize like these guys have been in these camps for years.
Hmm.
So this is like all new to me. And I didn't really think I did that good. I was like looking around, I was like, okay, like this is kind of weird. And then I get invited to Tennessee that following month. They were like, hey, I want you to come and compete with 500 guys.
Wow.
So I go there at Tennessee, and they were like, I kick there. I do a really good job. I think I went 27 for 30 on the weekend. I think my average kickoff was 80 yards with a 4-1 hang time. And then
Wow.
punting, I don't really remember. But I charted so I was a junior at the time. I charted third best or second best out of juniors and seniors and sophomores.
That's
And
wild.
yeah, that's kind of how I got into kicking. And then my whole recruiting just blew up, kind
I'm
of.
sure.
I had no idea how to do like recruiting calls, some recruiting calls took 15 minutes, some took 2 hours.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. Yeah, it was a time that I just had back to back, like backed up stuff. It was ridiculous.
And so what made you choose Florida?
They gave me a scholarship,
There you
and
go.
I got I got so like I got a scholarship from Navy, Army, and Virginia Tech in Florida. And I'm not a big military. I mean, I don't think I have the personality to be a military guy. I'll be honest. But it was hard between Virginia Tech and Florida. But I ideally, I was like, okay, it's SEC, the number one public school in the nation, and they were ranked 13th at the time. And I was like, and I'm not going to be like going to school for engineering because I'm playing on the football team, and Virginia Tech's a big engineering school. So
Right.
Florida was a big business school. And I was like, all right, I'll just pull the trigger on that. And then right as they gave me the scholarship offer a week later, I was like, all right, I'm committing.
Yeah. And have you enjoyed your time there so far? Like what is a typical day look like? Is it everything you expected? What was kind of walk us through that whole process from like your official visit?
Yeah, a typical day looks like Florida right now is I will wake up, I'll go lift, I'll get some treatment done, some tutoring, some school, and then I'll work a camp or two for like kids at 7-on-7. And then we'll do, I think we'll do OTAs. So it's like just training, nothing going on there with footballs and stuff like that. And then I'll go back and do some more homework and go to sleep, and then I'll restart the whole day.
Eat, sleep, repeat.
Yeah, basically.
So when you were going and you were deciding to go to college, did you get any scholarships to punt? Because I know you were contemplating doing both and or kicking or punting. Did you have that decision to make, or did they make it for you?
So, my freshman year, they were kind of like, I tried out for both. I tried out for
Uh-huh.
kicking and punting, and I was the backup punter on away games because they couldn't
Oh,
travel as many guys as they wanted to, and so I was kind of the backup kicker my freshman year, and also the backup punter. So they'd only travel five guys. They'd travel for us, like for specialists.
mm-hmm.
They would travel the starting punter, starting kicker, starting long snapper, backup punter, backup kicker, and then backup long snapper. So I was those two, the backup kicker and the backup punter.
Because I know, like, how was it? And now you're just a full-time kicker, but how was it waiting? And because I know you didn't start right away your freshman year, you had to wait a couple of months to get that first game in. What was that experience like waiting behind the guy who was in front of you, who happened to be starting?
Yeah. So the guy that was in front of me, his name was Adam Mahalik. He's a great kicker. I don't know what he's doing right now, but we're in contact. So we were battling my freshman year. I went to training camp. Everything felt good, and then midway through training camp, I pulled my groin a little bit. Couldn't kick. I couldn't do it for like 3 weeks. So he took over the job. He did a good job his freshman year, or my freshman year, and I think I got some really good experience going to different stadiums, understanding this is the environment. And then towards the middle of the year, I got the kickoff job, and so I did kickoffs for the remainder of the year. I think it was 5 games that I did kickoffs or 6 games. So I kind of got a good experience of what it felt like. And then obviously last year I took over after the third game.
I think I remember you did the kickoff at the South Carolina game, and I could totally be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that was the case. I don't know if you remember
Yeah,
that, but
I did we did play this past year.
maybe. I don't actually
Were we
remember what
playing?
year it was.
Were
Did
we
you
playing
kick
there?
at South Carolina your freshman year?
No, you guys came to us.
Okay, so then well, it was last year.
Yeah, you guys came to us, and then this year we went to you guys.
Yep.
But that
Did
was a
you
fun game to watch.
do you have a obviously besides y'all's stadium in Gainesville, do you have a favorite like opponent stadium that you enjoy going to, like environment or something, anything?
South Carolina was really cool. I'm
That's
not gonna
fun.
lie, but I think for me it was there's two. There was Texas A&M and then there was Tennessee.
Hmm.
I do not like. I don't like Tennessee at all. Absolutely hate them. Hate's a strong word.
And you are using it.
Yeah, I'm very well using it. No, the thing with Texas A&M is like their stadium is so tall. You could usually like I could usually see like a kickoff ball like in the what's it called, the sky in the background, but
Hmm.
usually I couldn't see it in Texas A&M. It's put
Really?
straight up. They can fit like I don't know 110,000 people there or
That's
something like that.
crazy.
Yeah, it
Yeah, and
Oh,
was
I definitely felt like that's
they call their fans the 12th man, so
yeah.
they are very big into football,
Yeah.
A&M. But yeah.
now now
Um,
that you are in fully to football, do you miss soccer at all?
No, not at
Not at
all.
all. No.
You do not miss soccer at
No
all.
regrets. No. I mean, I wouldn't have regrets either, but I
No.
mean, so you said you played soccer for 13 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel when you left soccer and kind of shifted towards football, did your love for soccer like go away and shift towards football? Did you kind of have to develop that passion for kicking for a different sport? How was that for you?
It was kind of like a weird transition. It was because I was used to just doing soccer and you would get second chances at everything, every single play you do. And then football kind of helped me stay patient. And it
Hmm.
was kind of hard transitioning a little bit. Um, no, not really. A new passion came to football. I think football is more of a team-oriented sport where it's like you get really close to the guys in the locker room compared to what soccer would be, which is kind of interesting, like perspective from me, because I know guys would say the same thing about soccer, but I just didn't really feel that way my freshman year in high school. But no, football was definitely the right choice for me.
That's awesome.
good. So, do you guys at Florida do a full schedule in the fall for classes, or is it where you guys take classes in the summer to give you guys more time for football in the fall?
No, you take a take full classes, all classes.
Damn,
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Like this fall,
that's
I took three in-person classes and then practice right after. My days were just swamped.
That sounds
that
brutal.
sounds
It
horrible.
it is brutal, but I don't really mind it. It kind of gets me in like a good rhythm for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then
Yeah,
game day Saturday.
right. A good
It's
routine, a good schedule.
yeah. Who's here? Hold on. Hello?
You're good, bro.
Talk. I'm on a podcast, so just be quiet. Just
Oh, what's his brother's name?
sorry.
Is that your brother?
Yeah.
How is he?
He's good. He's good. I don't know what he's up to right now. I don't know what he just
Is he done with school?
Oh,
yeah, he's done with school and he's kicking too at Salisbury.
oh, really?
Yeah, he's kicking too at Salisbury. So
That's nice.
Do you miss Maryland at all?
Um,
yeah, kind of, not really.
Yeah, I don't either.
No,
Luke
I only
wishes he
miss
could
it
go
for
back.
yeah, I only miss it for like my friends and family kind of deal.
Absolutely.
But other than that, like the people here are interesting, so that's all I gotta say.
I have to agree with you on that, but I do miss Severna Park. I don't know what it is about Severna Park. I just miss Severna Park,
Yeah,
but that's
Only
about
you.
it. I don't really miss too much more.
yeah.
Only you. Anyway, um, so what's it like being on I mean, football teams are huge. What is that like? Are you close with a lot of guys on the team? What's it like to have that large of a roster?
Yeah, no, I know like every guy on the team, and it's like we have 120 guys on the team.
Oh my
I try to
God.
talk,
Holy
yeah, I try
moly.
to talk to at least I try to talk to everybody on the team at least once, like in the week, which while I can. But
That takes up a lot of time anyway. I mean, you're taking classes and uh,
yeah,
training,
but like
and then you also have to talk
yeah,
to.
yeah, and like in the locker room, I'll spend the most of my time there, just like waiting for stuff to happen, like meetings to happen, waiting for practice to happen.
Mhm.
So I'll just walk around, try to say what's up to everybody, and everybody's a little different. You get people from that are different parts of the world. One of my teammates is from Germany, one of them's from England, one of them's from California, a couple of them
That's
from Maryland.
fascinating.
Crazy.
I
Yeah.
mean, like our little bubble of Serena Park is nothing compared to, especially in sports, when you get people from all over the world. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Um, what's your major? What are you trying to accomplish?
I'm a sports management major.
Me too.
So yeah, I'm just into that a little bit. It kind of resembles football, so I kind
Yeah.
of like to see like the outsider business perspective on what people think about football, and then actually get the knowledge, insider knowledge of like what actually are the details of it. So
hmm Not just your role, but what people do on the business side. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
I mean, it's as much as it is every professional sport, but as much as it is entertainment, is also completely a business, especially now in collegiate sports with NIL and the transfer portal. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I, it's definitely business. So that's really cool. Are you enjoying it? I mean, I'm sure you have multiple of your teammates in all your classes, which helps.
yeah. I enjoy it. But I'm like one of the smarter guys on the team, so people come to me for answers, and I'll try to like ask them, hey, like, you got any knowledge on like what you think this assignment is? They're like, nah, I was gonna ask you, dude. Okay, all right, thanks.
Like, yes, I am the smart one. Let me help you. I'll be your tutor.
Yeah.
I love that. Good for you.
Yeah, I wish I was that.
No, but they set us up with some good tutors. Like our team average GPA is a 3.1, which is really good
That
for
is actually
athletics and
very good.
Florida football. So it's really good. People at the University of Florida really help us out with our school, so it's good how they set us up.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Have
awesome.
your
Do
have your
you
Go ahead, Luke.
do you do you guys interact like do the sports teams interact with each other? Because like I go to a really small school and all of our sports teams interact with each other. Is that the same way at a bigger D1 SEC school? Or
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Like I'll connect with some of the guys from the golf team, and then all my friends, a couple of my friends are from the girls lacrosse team. So we like to hang out with the golf team. And I mean, for me, I know other guys like to
Mhm.
hang out with the baseball team, basketball team, girls basketball, volleyball. I don't know. But I like to hang out with a couple of guys from the golf team sometimes. And then also girls lacrosse.
Does Teresa still go to Florida and
Yeah.
play there? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I see her sometimes. She's just doing her own thing. She's busy too.
Oh, I'm
I can
sure.
imagine. I'm
She's
sure.
busy too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
I had a question
Yeah,
and
it's
it
a
escaped me. I had a question and it's gone now. Hold on.
Let's
Mm,
see.
ugh, I'm trying to remember it and I can't remember.
oops.
I know.
I'm
I'm just
sorry.
like looking at you as if you're gonna have the answer to that. Um.
I don't know what you were
Oh,
thinking about.
I got it now. Is the kind of going along with Luke's question, is how is the student athlete experience like compared to just, I mean, are you guys treated any differently at school? Do you feel like you're treated any differently, or do you feel like it's a really good community? I mean, it's a large, very, very large school. So,
Yeah, at some aspects you do get treated differently, but at the end of the day, you're still a college student,
mhm,
and I'm in a fraternity as well. I try to branch out to many people as possible for that kind of connection for later on in life. If football doesn't work out, if I don't go to the NFL, I joined a fraternity just so I can get those business connections and see what I can do for myself later on in the future. Sometimes, yeah, you do feel different.
mhm.
Like people walk around and they're college kids and they're like, that's like I'm hanging out with my the quarterback, and they're like, "Oh, that's Graham Mertz. Can I take a picture?" And I'm just like chilling there. I'm like, "Hey, you can take a picture with me too. I'm right here."
You're like,
No,
I mean, I should not be holding the phone. Someone else hold the phone. You want a picture with me? That's fine. I'll do it.
no, because the kicker usually just looks like a normal college kid because we're not that big. We're
Right.
not like these jacked guys that are 6'5", and we're just kind of like scrawny and just look like a regular college student. So they're just like, all right, whatever.
Hard to, yeah. It's easy to
But I'll
miss.
get it. Yeah, I'll get a couple. Hey, there's Trey Smack. Oh, hey, how you doing? Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
You should just have it like written
Uh,
on your forehead. Like, I'm the
Mm.
kicker.
Sometimes I'll
That-
wear stuff like this around just to like give people like, hey, it's number 29. He probably plays badminton or something.
hey, kickers are people too.
They
Yeah,
are people. That's
they are.
funny.
That's a good brand. That's a good brand.
Are you, why do I keep losing my questions? Hold on. Oh my gosh.
Someone had a
Luke, do
leak
you
in
have
their
anything while
faucet.
I think of this?
Yeah, sure. I think I have. I can come up with one real quick. What was your first experience like kicking a field goal? What were the nerves like? What were the emotions running through your head when you got that first field goal? I think it was a field goal. No, yeah,
Yeah.
that first game that you got to actually kick a ball through the uprights.
Yeah, it was interesting. We played a crappier team called McNeese. Or was it? No, not McNeese. Was it? I don't know. They weren't that great, but we were blowing them out, and then um we I went in, and because we were up by so much, they wanted to give me some reps, and yeah, I was pretty nervous. It was fine, but like the thing was, the next week we were home again, and we played our rivals, and the kicker, the starting kicker at the time, he already missed two field goals that got blocked because the kicks were too low. And so my coach was like, "Hey, you're up now." And I'm like, "Okay." So now we're playing like a big time SEC like school, and like I'm trying to stay as cool as possible because I'm about to lose it. Um, I go in there. It's just kind of all muscle memory for me. Like you just got to realize, like sometimes you're just kicking a football, and this is kind of like my motto, where it's like people take football too seriously, and for me, it's just you kick a ball through uprights. So I kind of went in there, and I was just like, okay, like let's just do the same thing we did, and then I go in there. I did, I think, two or three PATs, and then I had a field goal. And from there, it was kind of like my mindset was just kind of like, all right, let's just do that every time so we don't miss.
Mm-hmm.
Easy, I mean, easier said than done, but obviously, I mean, it's a great motto to have.
You got yeah.
Yeah,
I could never
yeah.
kick it.
Keep it
Got
simple.
No, it is pretty nuts because you really don't realize that there's 90,000 people there until after you kick it. Because like you're so like tunnel vision in on like
Mhm.
your job,
Yeah,
and like
absolutely.
when you see the ball go up, then you look up and you're like, that's a lot of people.
Hey, all those people just watch me do my job and kick it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So you're pretty,
basically.
so, okay. So after that first kick, do you stay locked in? Like, what, how does your mindset change? Do you watch the game? Like, do you watch the game? Are you focusing on just kind of staying in, like, locked in? What does that look like for you in your head?
For me, I like to watch the game a lot. Like
Mhm.
there are times where we get past the 50-yard line, and I'm like, okay, I gotta lock in. But there are times like when we're on defense, and then I'm like just watching the game so I get my mind off kicking, so I don't overthink anything.
Mhm.
So like I'll be on the sideline like having conversations, making sure like I'm not completely like overthinking everything. Where if I'm like sitting in a corner, I'm just like pacing around and everyone's like, "Yo, dude, you good?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." I just kind of like think about it for a bit. No, I just kind of like wander around, making sure like I'm in a good mindset of where like I can still watch the game, have fun because it's football, and I mean I only know two plays, so
Makes your job kind of easy though. I mean, not easy, but easier.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You don't have to stay locked in. That's got to be exhausting to stay locked in on a game the entire time.
yeah, and like it's for me, I can't kick 2,000 reps in a day, or I'll
Yeah.
just blow my leg out.
Mm-hmm.
like these other guys that are running. Like I can't do that. So I got to limit myself to how many kicks I should do before I actually kick a field goal. So it's in between 2 and 5 reps that I'll take, or 2 and 4 reps that I'll take before an actual field goal happens for me
Okay.
every drive.
Now, when you went from soccer to football, probably from the outside, like me, the kick looks similar. How did that? It obviously is not the same. So, what? How did you
There's
kind of
a
train your body to get away from that muscle memory of kicking a soccer ball rather than kicking a football? I know that it's quite different. You have to kick it a lot farther in football.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so, what did that look like for you?
It's kind of like so. Luke, do you play golf?
yeah.
Okay, so you don't play. Do you play? You still play baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that, where it's like you have to transition from baseball swing to like a golf swing. It's kind of like you have to get the dynamics of it down, where it's completely different, but it's kind of the same motion.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
Yeah,
like
that makes
swinging with
sense.
all the same movements. You just got to put it in a different way.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how I am doing it with like football, where it's like you just do a soccer finish where you finish off unbalanced and like you're not moving towards your target and like you're on a unbalanced plane every single time you kick a ball in soccer. But with football, everything is going to be the same every single
Mm-hmm.
time. So you got to make everything the same every single time. Just like a golf swing where you're hitting a driver, it's going to go, I don't know, like however far. But if you're hitting a wedge, you're doing the same exact swing.
Mm-hmm. That's a good analogy. I figured it was probably similar. Once you have to learn, if a baseball player just picked up a golf club, their swing would not be good because it would,
No.
right,
Be a
exactly.
baseball
It'd be
swing.
very similar to
Yeah.
baseball swing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
interesting. That's very interesting. You said that you were in a fraternity. Is that a business fraternity or is it like a just like a regular fraternity?
It's a regular fraternity, but we have I think 200 guys right now in
Wow.
fraternities. I try to get around and meet everybody, but it's really hard. So I really don't know this last year's class, but I know all my friends from my class and the older guys that have moved on now. But no, it's just a regular fraternity, and like I've gotten connections from it already through my platform, so it's really benefited me.
That's awesome.
That's
Do
good.
you plan to use any sort of your, I guess, like your platform, whether that be your fraternity or your sport? Do you plan to use any of that in any sort of social media way? Like, do you plan to use your platform that way, or do you see yourself more focusing on just doing you and managing your very busy schedule?
See, I say I would like to do that, but I just am so bad at social media. Like I don't know what to post. Where it's just
Yeah.
like I'm trying to like think of things to like post on
Mm-hmm.
social media. I'm like, all right, what are we gonna try to do today? I can wait tomorrow. No, I can't do that. No, it's like I can't do social media. I suck at it. And I think
Yeah.
like the whole entire like TikTok and Twitter and Instagram thing, I feel like if I had to, I could delete it. I would delete it, but I can't. So it's
Mm.
just like a part of my image now, where it's like I have
Sure.
to use those apps to kind of stay up to date with the NIL world.
Right.
But I'm not great. Right now. I'm just kind of focusing on football. I think a little bit more. I'm gonna be honest. I would like to say I would be an NIL, but yeah, I just can't. I'm not that creative social media guy.
That's okay. Luckily, you have a sport, and so you don't.
Yeah,
I mean, football season will be great. That'll help.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I guess in the off season, it's a little bit more difficult. But what are you
yeah.
most looking forward to this upcoming season? Any goals? Anything?
I'm looking forward to playing. I mean, all games like now. So I'm fully full time kicker now. So I hope I'll play all games hopefully. And playing in new away stadiums is gonna be really cool for me. Like since we're Texas and Oklahoma have come into the SEC now,
Hmm.
I get to play in Texas to play in Austin now. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to what the world has to see what the Florida Gators can do because our backs are really against the wall right now with the toughest schedule in the college football, and I think it's the toughest schedule in college football history. That's what I think it is.
100%.
So I think a lot of people are counting us out right now, and I think a lot of people don't understand what we got right now. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and you're looking forward to showing them that it's the toughest schedule, and it
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
Yeah, and like not really showing people, but showing ourselves that it can get done.
Yeah,
Like showing the team that it can get done. Like
absolutely.
we definitely understand that.
Yeah. Does your how does your coaching staff kind of handle that mentality? Because I know it obviously, like if you see the toughest schedule in football history, you're gonna have your doubts. How does your coaching staff or even other teammates of yours kind of shut them down and more give more hype and recognize that y'all can do it?
Yeah, where it's like this team's a little different because we would get pretty comfortable with, okay, we got a win last week. We will be not as locked in this next week. But this team's a little different where it's just like everybody's has the same motive idea and everything is not down to a specific detail.
Hmm.
It's wrong. You're not doing everything right. If you're not going 100% at practice, you're wrong. If you're complaining about something, you're wrong. If you're not showing up to meetings on time, it's wrong. It's like everything needs to be a specific way to be done the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally get that. Any advice you would give to somebody either going through the recruiting process, having really high aspirations for, say, an SEC team, or even someone who's transitioning sports? Do you have any advice from your own personal experience that you could give them?
Yeah, stay patient. Okay, warm up. A big advice I give you: warm up.
Yeah.
Because I've dealt with injuries where you don't warm up right, and then staying patient, warm up right. Make sure, like through the recruiting process, that you bug these coaches because they will not reach out back to you. Like, make sure your first clip is the best clip you have because a lot of these coaches will look at your film and the first video they see, they'll take on average probably 7 to 8 seconds to look at your first video and be like, okay, no, I'm not looking at you anymore. Or
Wow.
if you have your best clip in the beginning, they'll be like, okay, let me watch a little bit more. So make sure like you were bucking these coaches through recruiting. Make sure like your first clip's the best clip. Make sure like you just keep going at it, and you're gonna get you're gonna get rejected, like no doubt. Like I got rejected. Like I think I reached out to I don't know 50 schools, and I think only like 10 of them or 15 of them like I actually stayed in contact with throughout my whole
Hmm.
entire recruiting process. So like you're not gonna like get every school you want
Yeah.
unless like you're the number one quarterback in the nation or something. But as a kicker, yeah, no. Even if you are the best, like a phenom kicker, like the best ever in like the next 20 years, coaches don't really like in football don't want to worry about a kicker. Let's be real, like let's be realistic. Like they don't really want to worry about a kicker, a punter, or a long snapper.
Hmm. Hmm.
They're not going to really want to worry about that. They're going to want to get the best one they can find, the best one that tries out in front of them, and then the best one that has the best film.
And that'll do it. Yeah. I mean, when I was in the recruiting process for gymnastics, I mean, same advice. It was be so annoying that they have to respond to you. Like
Yeah,
reach out to them so much with so much footage and videos and just getting your name in their head. They're like, yeah, this guy Trey won't stop emailing me. I have to watch his video because I need him to stop. And then he watches
yeah,
your video and it's it's good. So
yeah.
yeah, that's
It's how I got into Florida. Like the
yeah.
guy, literally, I bugged him. I sent him like I think a new message every 3 days. I was like, hey, like I can come down to camps. Hey, I can come down to camps. I bet you he was like, bro, can he just get off my back?
It's like
Or,
fine, come down to a camp.
mm-hmm.
Yep, and that's how it worked.
Yeah.
Yep, the end. All right. Well, my last question for you is that being at Florida, are you still a Ravens fan? Or were you ever a Ravens fan? No, never a Ravens fan. Who's your team? Has it changed?
Washington Commanders all day long.
Okay. Wait,
Washington
I feel
Commanders.
like I knew that. And that hasn't changed moving to a different
Oh,
state. Never,
no way.
never will. Do you have a
No, I
favorite
think the
player?
only Commanders. Huh? Favorite player?
Yeah.
It was Taylor Heineke about a year ago until he left for the Atlanta Falcons.
Hmm.
Now I guess it's Tress Way, punter.
That's
So he's like a really well known guy um that everybody loves at the Commanders. And our nutritionist now, who was at the Commanders last year, said he was like his best friend and everything. So it was pretty
love that.
awesome. I'm the only Commanders guy on the team, so every Sunday you'll see me after game days. I'll just be wearing like a Commanders hat and Commanders jersey, and like a lot of the guys, like I have to go to meetings and I get dressed. They'll hide the jersey from me. They'll try to hide the jersey from me because like I'm just so like enthusiastic about them.
You're just
Yeah.
a Commander lover.
You
Yeah,
have hope.
you
Yeah,
do.
I have hope.
One day,
It's been so
yes,
long. It's been so long.
someone's got to be a fan on that huge, large team you are representing,
No,
and that's all. Yeah, representing
just
in
me.
that locker room, and they're gonna steal that jersey from you, and that's not fair.
Yeah, it's not funny either.
Well, Trey, thank you so much for your time. It was a true pleasure to see you again, and I'm excited to watch this fall and see what Florida can do.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Well, have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
All right, you too.